15 natural wonders that will leave you speechless. Somewhere out there, there's a river that's boiling, a lake that turns animals in statues, and a mountain that bleeds. Welcome to the most shocking and spectacular corners of the natural world. Get ready to have your mind blown. 1. Tucked deep in the Amazon rainforest of Peru is a real-life mystery. The boiling river, known by locals as Shanai Timpishka, or boiled with the heat of the sun, a river that reaches temperatures up to 95 degrees Celsius, 203 degrees Fahrenheit. Hot enough to cause third-degree burns. Even the rainforest around it steams. And here's the wild part. Unlike typical hot springs, this river isn't near any volcanic activity. Scientists believe geothermal heat seeps up from fault lines deep underground, but local legends say it's the work of a powerful spirit, Yakumama, the mother of the waters, and indigenous shamans have considered it sacred for centuries. 2. Welcome to Lake Natron in Tanzania. This eerie, red-hued lake has a deadly secret. Its high alkalinity, a pH as high as 10.5, almost like ammonia, and temperatures up to 60 degrees Celsius, 140 degrees Fahrenheit, can calcify animals, preserve the bodies of birds and animals that fall into it, creating the illusion of stone sculptures. It's not magic, it's sodium carbonate and alkaline salts. The lake literally mummifies anything that dies near it. But guess what? Flamingos love it here. They nest safely because predators can't survive the harsh water. 3. In the coldest place on Earth, a blood-red waterfall flows from ice. What is going on? This is Blood Falls, Antarctica? No, it's not blood. And no, it's not photoshopped. But it is one of the most mysterious natural wonders on Earth. Let's rewind over 5 million years, back when this part of Antarctica was covered by an ancient salty lake. As glaciers formed over it, a pocket of super salty, iron-rich water got trapped beneath the ice. Now, fast forward to today, that ancient brine is slowly leaking out through a crack in Taylor Glacier, exposed to air for the first time in millennia. And here's the cool part. When the iron in the water touches oxygen, boom, it rusts, just like metal. That's what gives Blood Falls its deep red color, creating a hauntingly beautiful scene in the middle of ice. But there's more. That underground lake, it's completely sealed off from sunlight and oxygen, yet scientists found microbes living inside. These microbes have survived in total darkness, in freezing temperatures, and with no oxygen by feeding on sulfur and iron, which could help us understand how life might survive on Mars or icy moons like Europa. So, yeah, Blood Falls isn't just a spooky sight, it's a portal to the past, and maybe to the future of space exploration. 4th, a road made of 40,000 perfect stone columns. Was it built by giants or something even crazier? Welcome to the Giant's Causeway, Northern Ireland. Irish legends, however, tell of a giant named Finn McCool who built the causeway to confront a Scottish rival across the sea. But geology tells a slightly less dramatic, but equally awesome, story. Around 50 to 60 million years ago, molten lava from a massive volcanic eruption flooded this coastline. As it cooled, it cracked and shrank, not randomly, but into perfect hexagonal columns. Why hexagons? Because they're the most efficient way for materials to crack and cool evenly. Kind of like how dried mud forms puzzle piece patterns. Some of these basalt columns are over 30 feet tall, and the formation stretches out like a stepping stone bridge into the sea, almost like it's daring you to follow the giant's path. So was it built by titanic hands or ancient lava flows? You decide. One thing's for sure. The Giant's Causeway is where science and myth collide, and the view is absolutely legendary. 5. In the middle of the Karakum Desert in Turkmenistan, you'll find a blazing crater that looks like the earth opened up and forgot to close. Officially called the Darvaza Gas Crater, this inferno was never supposed to exist. Back in 1971, Soviet geologists were drilling for natural gas, when the ground suddenly collapsed, forming a massive 70-meter wide crater. Natural gas began leaking, dangerously. To avoid poisoning the nearby air, scientists thought, let's light it on fire. It'll burn out in a few days. Spoiler alert, it didn't. The fire has never stopped. It's been burning nonstop for over 5 decades. Day and night, through storms, sand, and searing heat. At night, the flames light up the desert sky, giving it the name, the door to hell. Tourists from around the world trek into the harsh desert just to stand at the edge of this giant burning hole. It's beautiful, it's terrifying, and it's a reminder of what happens when nature doesn't play by the rules. So next time you hear about man-made mistakes, just remember, one of them is still on fire in Turkmenistan. 6. This lake looks like it caught the polka dot disease, but it's totally natural. Meet Spotted Lake, nestled in British Columbia, Canada. In winter and spring, it looks like any other small lake, but come summer, it transforms into a field of colorful spots: yellow, green, blue, and white. So what causes this bizarre makeover? The secret lies in minerals. Spotted Lake is packed with magnesium sulfate, calcium, and sodium sulfates, plus a mix of other minerals like titanium and silver. When the heat of summer kicks in, most of the water evaporates, leaving behind hundreds of little mineral pools. Each one reflects light differently, which is why they turn into brightly colored circles across the lake bed. But this lake isn't just strange, it's sacred. To the Syilx First Nations people, Spotted Lake is known as Kiluk, a place of healing and spiritual power for thousands of years. In fact, during World War I, minerals from the lake were even harvested for ammunition production. Yep, this trippy lake has been useful and mystical. Today, it's protected land. You can view it from the highway, but visiting up close is restricted to preserve its fragile beauty. So if you ever find yourself driving through British Columbia, look out for the lake that turns into a painter's palette each summer. 7. What if I told you there's a waterfall underwater? And it's not what you think. Just off the southwest coast of Mauritius, you'll find something that looks absolutely impossible. A massive waterfall plunging beneath the sea. From above, it looks like the ocean is collapsing into a hidden trench, like the sea itself is being sucked into the earth. But here's the mind-blowing part. It's not a waterfall at all. What you're seeing is an optical illusion, a stunning trick of light, depth, and sand. Mauritius sits on a submarine plateau, a shallow seabed that suddenly drops off into the deep Indian Ocean. As ocean currents move over the edge, they drag sand from the beaches and lagoons down the slope. From the air, this flowing sand mimics the look of a cascading waterfall. The water isn't falling. The land beneath is just sloping away dramatically, and our eyes interpret it as a vertical drop. Drone footage and satellite images make it look like a real underwater vortex. But up close, it's all about depth and movement of sand. It's one of the most photographed spots in the world, and a perfect example of how nature can fool even the sharpest eyes. 8. No, this mountain wasn't photoshopped. And no, it's not painted. This is 100% natural. You're looking at Vinicunca, better known as Rainbow Mountain in Peru, a stunning geological wonder perched over 17,000 feet above sea level in the Andes. The mountain's colors come from millions of years of mineral layering. Each color represents a different mineral. Red from iron oxide, green from chlorite, yellow from iron sulfide, lavender and blue from goethite, and other minerals. For centuries, this mountain was hidden beneath snow and ice. Only after climate changes and melting glaciers did its full beauty emerge around 2015. But don't let the likes fool you. Getting here isn't easy. A hike to the summit can take hours. And the thin air? Altitude sickness is common. so visitors often chew coca leaves, a traditional Andean remedy. Despite the challenge, thousands make the trek each year to witness this kaleidoscope of geology. But the vibrant colors are fragile. Tourism, erosion, and changing weather threaten to fade them. So if you ever plan to visit, tread lightly. This natural masterpiece took millions of years to form, and we only just discovered its magic. 9. This mountain isn't made of snow or salt. It's a natural spa built by Earth itself. Welcome to Pamukkale, which means cotton castle in Turkish. And you can see why. This dazzling white wonder in western Turkey looks frozen, but it's actually made of travertine, a soft, chalky limestone. For thousands of years, hot, mineral-rich springs have flowed down the hillside. As the water cools, it leaves behind layers of white calcium carbonate, forming these surreal terraced pools that cascade down like a frozen waterfall. But it's not just beautiful, it's historic. Pamukkale was a spa destination in ancient times too. The nearby ruins of Hierapolis, a Roman city, show that people have bathed here for over 2,000 years. Even Cleopatra is rumored to have dipped in these waters. The pools are still open to visitors today, though only in certain protected areas to preserve the delicate formations. And the water? A soothing 95 degrees Fahrenheit, 35 degrees Celsius, rich in calcium, magnesium, and carbonates. Locals say it has healing properties, and scientists agree it's good for your skin. Pamukkale is one of Turkey's most visited natural wonders, and a UNESCO World Heritage Site. But the terraces are fragile. Years of damage from tourism led to strict conservation efforts. Today, access is limited, and shoes are banned to protect the surface. So if you're planning a trip, prepare for barefoot walks and jaw-dropping views. 10. You won't believe this bridge is alive and still growing. In the misty rainforests of Meghalaya, India, villagers don't build bridges, they grow them, literally. Meet the living root bridges. They're made from the aerial roots of the Ficus elastica tree, also known as the Indian rubber fig. The indigenous Kazi and Jaintia tribes guide the roots over rivers and gorges using hollowed-out tree trunks or bamboo scaffolding, training them to cross and strengthen over time. And this takes patience. It can take 15 to 30 years for a root bridge to become strong enough to hold people. But once formed, they can last hundreds of years, and actually get stronger with age. Some of these bridges are over 70 feet long and hold the weight of dozens of people. And during the heavy monsoon rains, when normal bridges wash away, these living structures thrive. They're not just practical, they're eco-engineering marvels. They require no steel, no cement, no machines, just nature, time, and traditional knowledge passed through generations. In fact, some villages have even built double-decker and triple-decker root bridges, stacking them like living staircases in the jungle. It's one of the most unique examples of human-nature collaboration. So next time someone tells you bridges are built, tell them about the ones that grow. 11. Imagine waking up to find millions of crabs crawling through your backyard. That's not a horror movie, it's real life on Christmas Island. Every year, between October and December, over 50 million red crabs emerge from the forests of this tiny Australian island and begin an epic journey. Their destination? The ocean, to mate and lay their eggs during the perfect tide cycle. This isn't a quiet affair. The migration is so massive, it shuts down roads, reroutes traffic, and even closes businesses. Locals build special crab bridges and underpasses just to help them cross safely. For about a week, the entire island is carpeted in crabs, marching through jungles, over rocks, across roads, and down cliffs in a synchronized dance that scientists still find astonishing. And timing is everything. The female crabs have to reach the shore just in time to release their eggs into the ocean during the last quarter of the moon, because that's when tides are perfect to carry the larvae out to sea. A few weeks later, the tiniest baby crabs, no bigger than a grain of rice, begin their own return migration inland, starting the cycle all over again. It's one of the most incredible natural spectacles on Earth, not just for the scale, but for the way nature and humans work together to protect it. 12th, a giant eye, staring up from the sands of the Sahara, but no one noticed it until we went to space. This is the Eye of the Sahara, also called the Richa structure, a mysterious spiral stretching 40 kilometers wide in the Mauritanian desert. At ground level, it looks like any rocky wasteland, but from the sky, it looks like an ancient eye carved into the earth itself. For decades, scientists debated its origin. Was it a meteor impact crater? An ancient lost city like Atlantis? Turns out, it's even stranger. The eye is a geological dome formed over hundreds of millions of years as layers of rock slowly eroded in concentric circles. Volcanic activity pushed up a huge bulge of earth, and then wind, sand, and rain carved out the ridges and rings you see today. Astronauts aboard the ISS call it one of the most striking landmarks on Earth because it's literally only fully visible from orbit. Despite its size, the eye remains mostly unexplored. There are theories of ancient artifacts, fossils, and secrets buried beneath its surface, a hypnotic spiral in the sands that reminds us how much of our planet remains a mystery. 13. Nature made a perfect circle out of ice. No tools, no human hands, just water, cold, and some serious mystery. These are ice circles, rare, rotating disks that form naturally in rivers and lakes. They're almost perfectly round, and they can be as small as a tire or wider than a truck. But how do they form? It starts with the right combination: slow-moving water, cold temperatures, and just a little vortex motion. As ice begins to form in a river's eddy, a slow, circular current, the spinning motion carves it into a neat circle, grinding off the rough edges as it turns. It's like nature's lathe, slowly sculpting a frozen masterpiece in motion. They've been spotted in North America, Scandinavia, Russia, and China, often in small clusters or just one massive disk drifting silently. Some people believed they were signs of aliens or omens, but it's really just physics, beautiful, bizarre, and incredibly rare. Scientists still don't fully understand why they're so precisely round or why they appear in some winters and not others. 14. A lake that looks like strawberry milk? Nope, this is 100% real. This is Lake Hillier, off the coast of Western Australia, famous for its bubblegum pink color that stays pink all year round. So is it chemicals? Pollution? Nope, it's all natural. The secret lies in a type of halophilic, salt-loving microalgae called Dunaliella salina. This little organism produces a red pigment, beta-carotene, especially in salty environments. Combine that with high salt concentration and specific bacteria in the lake's salt crust, and boom, you get a lake that looks like it belongs in a fantasy movie. But get this, if you scoop the water into a bottle, it's still pink. This color isn't just a trick of the light, it's real, through and through. As for swimming, technically yes, but it's protected, so tourism is tightly restricted. Most people just admire it from the air or by boat. And no, it's not toxic. In fact, it's so salty that swimming would be like floating in the Dead Sea. So next time you see a pink lake on Instagram, remember, it might not be a filter. It could be Mother Nature flexing her weirdest science. 15. These frozen bubbles are stunning until you learn they can actually explode. Welcome to Abraham Lake in Alberta, Canada, home to one of the world's most surreal winter sights. Dozens of frozen white bubbles, suspended beneath the icy surface like a 3D snow globe. But here's the twist. Those aren't just air bubbles. They're methane, a highly flammable gas released by dead organic matter decaying under the lake. In the summer, the methane just bubbles up and escapes. But in winter, when the lake freezes over, the gas gets trapped in layers, forming these strange, icy stacks. Some bubbles are small, others are the size of dinner plates, and they just keep stacking up as more methane rises. While they're safe under the ice, if someone were to poke or ignite the bubbles once released, well, boom. Thankfully, it's mostly a visual phenomenon, spectacular and safe from a distance. Photographers travel from all over the world just to capture their frozen beauty. But beyond the visuals, they're also a reminder of climate change, since methane is a powerful greenhouse gas. So, next time you see pictures of this icy wonderland, know it's not just pretty, it's nature showing off, with a hint of danger beneath the surface. Which one of these blew your mind the most? Drop it in the comments. And if you're craving more epic stories from the natural world, don't forget to subscribe. This planet is full of surprises, and we're just getting started.